lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and today I'm doing another October read, Halloween horror-themed book. For this one, I'm going to be talking about Batman, Red Rain. About Batman and Dracula, Red Rain. So this book is obviously, you can see, like, this is part of a trade. So this is the Batman Vampire Tales of the Multiverse trade paperback. I just want to focus on the first one. So it is a trilogy of stories. It's Batman and Dracula, Red Rain. And then we got Batman Bloodstorm and Batman Crimson Mist. So this is by, the entire creative team is Doug Moench and Kelley Jones. Malcolm Jones III inks the first story. And John Beatties inks the subsequent chapters. I'm just going to focus on this first one. This is the first time I'm reading it. So this has been out a long time. I've known about it for a long time. I'm a fan of the Doug Moench Kelley Jones Batman run from, post the breaking of the bat, that's the best way to put it. So that's, when he takes the cowl back. Just love the way Kelley Jones' use of shadows, his just this gothic feel. So at least this first book definitely precedes that run. I'd have to check the exact dates, but we're getting a different Gotham. It's not the Gotham that that we expect, and you see that right away. We get vampires right from the get-go. I love the cinematic feel of this, where it just no words, and you just see the terror in her eyes, teeth bite, and then the blood splatter. This is basically what Batman will be following the entire time. This Wayne Manor even looks like way different than what you'd expect. I don't even know, it doesn't really specify, but what year this takes place in. It doesn't feel like it's very old, but it doesn't feel super modern either. And then he sees this woman come to him in the night, and he's dreaming of her. And just, the entire writing of this story has such a, poetic nature to it. It's really fitting for a story with Dracula, it makes sense. Batman is a creature of the night, and for him to go up against the ultimate creature of the night in Dracula and vampires, it to me is a no-brainer. My only issue when I read this was, man, I wish I had read it sooner, because again, since I love that other run, I don't know why this has always escaped me, but, thank God for my thinking of wanting to do some, horror in October reads. It prompted me to pick this up, and I have to say, I absolutely love it. It's, it's a different kind of Batman story. You definitely, throughout the trilogy of the stories, I'm not going to get into the final two chapters. I may do separate videos. I guess we'll see how well this one does, and if people are interested, maybe I'll come back and revisit the other two. But for now, I just wanted to talk about Red Rain, the one that kicked off this trilogy. And I love this Batmobile, kind of a classic, and there's no big Bat family. Alfred's in here, Commissioner Gordon, and that's about it. It's a very distilled story. Again, the long ears, definitely one of the standouts from Kelley Jones. I love this particular angle. Heavy in the shadow. The coloring on this book, done by Les Dorschild, just fantastic. I don't know if, obviously this is a trade, so I don't know if the colors look a little bit different in this collection than they did originally. But this feels like this is what they would have looked like, especially because the prestige format books were printed on a glossy paper. They were not on newsprint back then when they started doing these books. So they did have a little bit of a different look to other books that were coming out around the same time. So Commissioner Gordon's going to this mayor, right? And, saying he wants to do something about what's going on with these throat slashings and stuff. And the mayor's worried that it's going to look bad on him being the first black mayor, and how he can't even protect the disenfranchised of his own city. And he's like, oh, so maybe we should just do nothing. And then, you can see him yelling at Gordon, no, you need to do something. I'm ordering you to find and stop this maniac while I go about the business of maintaining order and calm in the city. So they're not wanting to make a big deal about it in the news. Then we, flashback again, this woman who continues to hover over Bruce, basically is going to recruit him into stopping Dracula. Just these great scenes with the gargoyle. I love the way this cape, it's just such an awesome pose. It's not really a pose that I think I've really seen much of. I'd have to go back and read, their run on Batman, but very interesting look. It makes him look exactly like a bat, and you don't see that often. And these vampires are just, continuing to attack. And just thinks that this woman's like on drugs. Like, she can't be a vampire, She's on uppers or devil dust. No woman of her size should be able, or she'd be that powerful, stronger than anyone I've ever faced. I've got to stop her. And then he comes upon the woman and he sees the puncture marks. And you can see, like, he just doesn't want to, like, admit to himself. And that's always been something Batman does, where the supernatural kind of, he dismisses it. I'm probably less so now because it's like way more prevalent. But in this world that, like I said, is kind of a distilled, reality. There's not much supernatural. You don't see him going after normal villains. They don't even make appearances until the later stories within this trilogy. I love this, like, look at his Batcave, very basic, and his home, like the way it's like, it just looks, it has like more of like an 1800s, early 1900s vibe, which I just absolutely dig. And then you see, like, right here, like, night again, time to rise, I'm still asleep, still dreaming, vampires are real, but not all of them are evil. And then he's like awake at night, so the daytime is when he sleeps, and he gets up at night to go out there and fight. And what's weird is he goes to open the car door and he breaks it off, and he's able to lift up. He has no idea what's happening to him. And so clearly he's been infected. They're looking, you don't see anything unusual, and says, look at the back of my shoulder blades, and he's been scraped. So when he was scraped by that vampire woman, it infected him. But yet he's not fully succumbed to vampirism yet. He hasn't changed. Obviously, like, if you know anything about the story, he eventually does get infected and does become a vampire, and it progresses more throughout the trilogy, which is also really cool. I love this, like, take on Dracula, super pale, but like an almost like a bluish tint to his skin. And Batman comes to this librarian looking for information on vampire lore, because he's, now he's got to figure out what's happening. In the movies, it's also like almost like a transference of rabies. How is this taking place? How are they infecting people? And it's funny because he's like, he doesn't see them as real, right? And she's like, yeah, by the way, you are aware that to some people, you are not real. To others, you're very real, but entirely supernatural. There are even those who worship you. And it's crazy. I like the look of the rain to make it where it's red. Chemicals in the air are causing it to do that. Really fucking crazy. It's such an awesome little thing to happen, because it gives that effect of it being red, but it's not. Seeing all these like bodies, like piled up skeletons as he's hunting them. You just get so many of these scenes, like, of them feeding on humans, and this just like the angularness, the points all over the cape, just really making him look like a bat. This is like such a great panel, something I would definitely want to hang up on my wall. And this is where, as he's fighting them, he meets Tanya. And Tanya is the one that was coming to him in his dreams and says, my followers and I, or the others, we seek only to, and she's about to say, like, we want to take them down. And again, here's Dracula, and you see this like subtle transformation. So she's been turned, but she's made it her mission to kind of take down all these vampires, and she's enlisting Bruce. The two of them are going to figure out a way to take him down. And like the blood of Batman, he even says it, just the sight of it, the scent of it, it drives you crazy, doesn't it? You want it, come and get it. And he paints a cross with his blood on the wall. It's awesome. And if Dracula can't come near him, he's like, your blood will be mine. And so all throughout now we're going to see this, the slow transformation of Bruce into this vampire. And Alfred, is, this rain is affecting everything too much for the filtration system to handle. And slowly says, it's certainly changing what we drink, probably changing us too. Lord help us, we're all changing. And this is where she's telling him, the harvest of Gotham by the Lord of the Undead is having. And then it was Dracula. What a great line. By losing my humanity, by journeying through hell, is how I plan to oppose him. And she talks about how she first got infected, how she's recruited other vampires to, take him down. And so now, Batman comes with her to Gordon, gives them the lowdown on what they plan to do. And to prove what she is, he's like, shoot me. Shoots her, and it doesn't do anything. 1,000 bullets could not have stopped me, and your city's facing Dracula himself. And so Gordon is able to admit to himself, Batman's getting weak, so what does she do? A blood transfusion, which, there was no other way because he had lost too much blood. And now this is where he goes. Super strong. He's got all these abilities. You can see how it's making him quicker. He's healing, and just like the bloodlust has not taken upon him yet. Stabbing, basically he's killing. It's a vampire, but he's willing to do stuff that he's never done before. We get Gordon all trapped up by Dracula. I love these two, of the batarangs hitting the different guys, and Batman, boo, just such a great shot. I also really love the yellow emblem on the Batman logo. I think that's probably one of my favorites. And as they're in these catacombs, taking them down, which is like the vampire nest. Oh, dude, such a great shot here too, of Batman lurking above with the cape draped over this stone staircase. And as they're underneath Wayne Manor, what does he do? There's nothing else he can do. He blows up the manor to take out the vampire nest. And you just see this, him letting go of his past, right? And he had locked himself in this, little chamber so that he would be safe to come out later. And, Tanya made the sacrifice. Go into your manor, we'll hold them. And, you can see just the tears rolling down as he wishes peace to her. And so now, they're going to make their headquarters somewhere else. So now they're going to move to this brownstone. It's equipped with everything we need. And he's like, except a cave, sir, and a garage. No place for the car. From now on, Alfred, I won't be needing a car. And then we see the wings, man. And it's so crazy to see, him with his cape. But these bat wings, too. The mission's not over yet. He still has to take out Dracula. And as we near the end, we get the inevitable battle between them. And you can see, this look. And I love this, where you just see the teeth and the eyes, just making him look super menacing. Not quite a vampire yet, but getting there. Just it's so sharp. All the little angular stuff to the cape that Kelley Jones does so well. Right here, dude, with the red rain. Oh my god. I love this too. This face-off, Dracula bites him, so now he's fully infected by the vampire virus, but as that happens, he gets impaled right through the heart. Dracula does, and he's defeated. Just a great one-page spread. Alfred running up to Bruce because he thinks he's dead. Little does he know, he's not. Now he's gonna live forever, and we see that we end with the bat teeth. So that's the end of the first book. You guys like this? Let me know. Show it by watching the video, checking out. Make sure you make sure you comment. I would love to continue going through this, but just wanted to go through just the first chapter. If you guys haven't read it, it's a lot of fun. I went into it blind, except for all I knew basically: Batman, Dracula, Batman's a vampire. That's all I knew. So highly recommend it. I'm not sure. I think the trades may or may not be out of print, but you can grab these relatively good price online. Make sure you check out the rest of the Halloween horror videos for the month of October. Make sure you follow, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, I'm out.